So the finest NDC lawyer Bernard Bediako Akyea MP. Abusuya, right now no oba political headline so you will be a very fine brain and wababa drop a shocking details on Chairman Wontumi ne 20 years jail sentence na ya sentence as also I expose lawyer Akyea me ankasa me friend with the tactical Akyea abusuya wa end ne judicial career no or say Chairman Wontumi ne case Akyea ono ankasa be so case na oye se otnase na wababe or the strategy be a delay judgment no abusuya anya adwuma no ono krampo no lawyer Akyea no ni senior lawyer no odwene ne ho a onte ase say such cases no adenti na aya no opese opre ne ho na okokofa abusuya lawyer Bediako I expose lawyer Akyea big time wa end the political career wa drop details on Chairman Wontumi 20 years jail term no abusuya there is much interesting moment ahead. Mommy uncle na yankonkotie lawyer Bediako nsema ori tudwa etese osan so ka se enye Chairman Wontumi enko a na obekwa akopie mu ewo nsawe mu wo there is NPP corruption and as a corrupt officials omo nso no omo ba be follow Chairman Wontumi after legal vacation no abusia yensem mmere mo yanko na yankonkotie lawyer Bediako ya ba yadede aka ato so unsubscribe ya subscribe and hit on the notification bell so send be any updates be I be drop it on so onsa ebetumi akabi aha gossip politics TV so
with trending issues we have still Wontumi but then the tribunal issue any other issues we are per se opeke de kan but mame mbusa wo sadewe se mo nuanom menka mo opponents because ye chechire oman se mo nuanom MPs ni ade oh and they say Yamin Wontumi and they say Yamin ne abanga so na president ka say NDC for no be create to galam say ni bi. Don't you think their question is legit?
Commander, that's it. So I'll deal with all where you question.
Okay, Pacho, you should
made a question but in the meantime no the buy me chia makweti afo.
Yes.
I mean chia ejo madaro ma una ye dewa. Me chia pay ye senior COK for a penny no send a message no. Kwasem Niema ye hu akwatia neno. Inshiranka His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
Amen.
Ye wo how bebre enu nti ne to aba asoman. But the aban obeba no be hu how no be ye moves so resolve how na ma no ono na ye aban pa. Look me no kase enu na okay. Kusi ye to aba nkasa Ghana ha nye Fourth Republic mpo. Want to about my NDC we need. In fact, there be a gap between NDC and MPP the move.
Really?
By election, say hot me papa free. The by election, sound to me can buy moon penny for chief of staff, general, chairman, I could show my boss here more sensible. Tiene, Niomu Mudano Mukromo.
I see.
Oma Quine in Nara. Onyago Punchra Yira governs Kwame Abuja.
Nanya minister also so.
Maybe dear. Eyamina make.
Dear.
Na enwachi no yen district no say ufi district na fa bi ye fra railway zone ho no ni kusi takrase wanchi ni ade na o de ba eye Akyea just okofa kede another district ansa no aba bi because ni access road bi eye direct it's a kwan no eno ne ye gidi ye Egusukuta link one side of the district to Akyea.
Cause I'm about to use the microphone here.
Oh, okay. And son, if we hold my yatwaso every top remain. Let me know because a contractor know what top remain quan so or your bridges no.
Really?
Me na me catch you. enso efi ebuadua kotopreman eko sechikroma penaman dwenase eno so ye about 15 kilometers. It is a quina if 3 kusi 3 ye bebia. As I speak to you, Akyea internal routes in so and so can ye. When chi a highway contractor ni wie kusine for ba be when chi aka. Chese yen ya kwan ni awo krata so a ye Nyankopon hira men so bigu so. Anopai kra me ko ne ho. Da bia me see the swear say ne esese oye boa because won say we ne de eye nkran asem ntimi ame wa ha no DC hwe akiri ma me na me so me pushi wa ha di ye ya bom na ese aboa na etimi apagya eye district no topreman for so many years on networking ye o ma kan aban a ba so vie wotwe wa vie
I see
ye wura Sam George me ka asem no ye yi pay tumi no say what aden and me no ka say oni NC fu akasa de MTN fu akasa said no immediately esem kusi master ma sa akuri ma me e ma contractor na ba me no ka oye EPS see our clear site in the next few days obe start ya constructive master no on behalf of
it's
MTN,
wonderful
bridges akese mienu so abe bridge it was almost down Wontumi connecting ko
so abe oba pani or madam for
ya friend bisa no omo bridge no ye yini nia na ye bridge ankasa mom me o videos no wa o frɛ na ebisa a contractor ni wi a o kwa akoye na ma phone so bridge ane no so collapse. A lot is happening. Maybe we may have a date. Me da ban mu mpanifo ase Akyea mind o ma se ye no bi nso da chi bia wa beto aso. I mean for me no ne ade a enya da bia se ye be ne sa
mo projects be almost 14
chip compounds in schools ne niam ekoso de esa really bebre eti niam ekoso and no kwasem niam ekoko na ko St. Rose look Aquatech udu Aquatech abeka say technical university Akyea ewrade kona ko adan a Akyea fu ewo he dada and Aquatech no ho dada na infrastructure
facelift no
ko he Aquatech
MVP abenja
David fresh dining multi-purpose dining boys dormitory girls dormitories administration block kona ko he
we ne binum ba hu
St. Roses kona ko he
ebinum ba hu
ya lobby e di ni ade aba bi anya kasa ni bebre me si yesi yam gusu si gidigidi St. Roses kona ko he
I see.
Wo ho bebre enti eguso me de ye wie ni nia Onyankopon ne de asedama no ne de ma his excellency.
Yeah.
Ene aban mu mpanifo a omo eboa ma yeye. Unim mensam ne yemiensa titia. Ena meboso. Me de budget na ansa.
Okay, let's
go. We are meba Wontumi. Ba mi yi wasem na no e bia na me refi.
Yeah.
Ananso so be kai me edru ho no.
Ya no na
refi. Ya no. Hwe. May you know with a question. You're right, I mean, the concession way.
Maybe the AG can tell.
AG on carry. A nipa na kasa. And na, near you back a bia as we speak. Obia who concession bia what you're right, I mean, dim, when I rabanga dim.
No.
How can you compare that to this? Where?
But I think there was this letter circulating from Yamin office.
Oh, sorry.
I think Ochro Koma Minerals Commission that onu be a pre-concession will be on and opposite Minerals Commission determine who is the rightful owner of that concession.
Because me tie every year I mean wha also no onye mine.
Okay.
You be enter baby and concession wo. And
which
so far obi entimi nche say owo kure so eye mine wa. It is completely different from it is a cray. Hey, commander, any name, Meti Hoya, some meaning baby or yadra, any another fee mining concert, so people to be a two KMP no mining, and Nuntino and wine to the accompanied only wouldn't be the any.
Only last week, we also know Biaba MPP Nibia Tro. Bobians are so what concess was some boy.
And why KKSNT, BNI will say, Yoko phone call you have CID phone you have into so only wouldn't be the. So when I hear them make this comparison, your name one was how can you make this comparison? Because a kakeke and even a cabinet minister for environment a binsi ya republic imuda and the report by a bodin at the tremo say a Professor from Pop Watson. So what by any mono a nipa with the cabinet minister no no a year environment in no moye hode. Na say osa no so baka se na mo hwehwem.
Yeah.
Na say mfie wo twen wo se ahenu mo de hwehwe mu a ada na afe ba ko pe de osusu say ya hwehwe we mu wie. Asamo ayeka Wontumi de ono aksa je atum say I have a concession. Na concession no yetu ono ana eka ho enti na ese yakokata so ne nkomo na asem na wie ye nia no ena me kobo pa se obi enyo na otu wo se nyo na otu ye commander tie nkomo ni ye pa Wontumi se nyo no ne tu amena no nyo no otu agudie no ono ko ho ne etu dada na asem okode kodan court no yetu dada no nya adwuma o minerals commission unya adwuma o lands commission unya adwuma o EPA ena wo ne hia wade a wo nkotu ye no ne hia se okobo pass obi eko to machines mani pa akro minim se excavator ne yedi tuku bi amena de a excavator uye reclamation a ye ne efi mining site bulldozer ne yede ye
ga we excavator
we excavators na okokoto a yedi tu form ba also de koye ye friend say reclamation yate ena nipa no why the man ska to petrol or diesel at the end of the day onipa no so no or a small scale miner onya agriculturist enti ko ho no okotu agudie enti agudie okokotu ye no ene ye bisa say why na do ba ho se Wontumi tie nie o kan me wo judgment no ha o kan judgment na papa ne so no oni makonta mining bia
Henry no
ogum no so oni makonta ma ono Wontumi no nim oni Wontumi na dele ye papa no asamo kan no now get it as a state ye de anim say obi ye mining in 2025 ene yakọ no be kirem say me de ha me wo no me koye search na me hu say asomasi asase ni ena me call ne nchen ena o say ampa metimi akọ akotu me tu anu akata ne etu dada no so na me say mate me pen sa as a small scale miner on say no ye fi mining area friend ntem because large scale no omu tu na kese sa na ne dedam finfin no small scale for na ekọ I mean we know this ye nyan kola okroma ade enye ona otu ye wo na okodua so and again and na me ni lawyer bi wo GH1 afim kan no ID na am say ya yesua law na ye ba bontin a yen kai say ye lawyers surface right and can mining right and that is a very tie hani ye pa obi ayes argument na afa no na fare no se wo kokoji lease e wa ban mu a eye ne wase e ne de ma.
I see.
O wie na kata so a asase na nya odia no akodua kube wo so.
Into grant be can't.
Be so nkodua kube wo so. You don't have that right. Anya odia. O koje agudi e wase.
Into wie we.
We o kata so akọ. EPA ne aban ne oman no ene asase wura asem.
I see.
Now for you to tell us some full sensuo na we adwem. To tell us say wo no wo sa akachire obi say onkonko dua kube no surface right enyo dia mining right na wo agudi e wo asase ase no it doesn't include surface right one koje asase so okudua abe ana okudua kube and no dia nke no na fall under lands commission lands act nim say wo koje asase e dia aye dia no but surface mining right no dia ye ne wase it is a non starter wo kasa obi onim enhihye nbia bon so twatro. So why the American? Yeah. And that is what takes me to some common mood say, Judge, you know, there wasn't any direct evidence. Look, that's an you be a the quality grain case, Chachuchi Kata, what do you mean, Jailin? Yeah, now in somewhere, Uber Kai Yaubi. Yeah, and some in Percy, a Bequay Chibebre. Yen Yanum Nati, no me, Yachum Nadoso. You rattle for some, yeah, mamma, a fear. Or the sense wow say judge
the judge the fear say
I can say or were case to answer.
What was the issue?
Issue be wow ts ankomoya ambulance say na yibra at force look people be any hold man there who chest at was ever corrupt it was our case in. But the inference and it is allowed many problem is allowed in law. About 99% of criminal cases are resolved around circumstantial evidence. Na judge no ho na asem ni si. Yeah. Even obi a waba court a yesi nsuo we na file oba osenyam na file. How do you prove it? And circumstantial evidence, what kind do you the state versus do you versus the republic? It can't be say, you need direct evidence. But it must lead to say, but direct evidence in you. What you say? Now the judge took you through one kasa was a first and when my catcher said surface right. And you there, and no Commander T.N.E. view. Wo and now claiming only my who's in the judgment. Wontumi throw lecture Koma RCC, Regional Coordinating Council. And what a Western region. So Mumbe protect him. Oh, yeah, reclamation. It's in the judgment. Wontumi G2. Another regional former regional minister now media dance. Mumbe protect you be all your reclamation. But
there is this argument from the other side. Meaning how you respond to it. Almost say. Addo intina say Henry Ogumuno wakotu asinasi aye illegal mining no. Was it your no man ko yes ano wa finding guilty. Now the yes ano e.
You are responding to her case here. Look, Attorney General Abichiri. This is the issue. Ogumuno. Let me explain to you. Omo che no fiase no. Asamo no kan no onim so waye bone o. Why? Also okoye search no hu sa high order. And oba ho se mame nkutuntu ono no trem a kire omo ebeche ne say asomasi to mi so na me de wa ha tie ni ye na enu no omche nu se sakra wafom because of even so be to mi so kra na ho so nya krata fi minister for lands eti edu ba bi no beji tum say ene na me nim mafom tie ni ye ogum no enti ene mafom enti anu no yusu emra na Addo danko akufu Addo ne na ban passe ye the plea bargain act some media senior kan maji ato enti ene na me pese mu prosecute me enhyehyɛ ho mo menye na ban confiscate ni assets bi and a part of non prosecution which is law this a lawyer bia say yam prosecute no enye bi na exim bank Wontumi pen enye mra nko exim bank na meba sansem no so Ena okatrom senti anu nti na menim na mefom ye nti menim fa asem no hu bia meden meka ena mo be dane eno so ye part of it eno ye nhyehyɛ one attention na ne niam no nso aban sizi ye including sika gold ni ade ni aban age nti anu ni plea bargain ada na Wontumi no so one take advantage of the plea bargain at least yeti obi ani me na me ka kire o lawyer na na me oji etu we say look eti wo ti ho a lawyer ni now so nim say ni ebeni because one ka sam kobo no tro kan court why wo bu ni body di ara di body commander ye ni body di intiri eti ebe na so person di body di asua body di na wo court na aka say minim no abrante no why no minim no then
ka sam na
ayire because then the state would have to prove link a war in intem. But what can say minimum? Men am de ne call ho. Na mom ni oye no de manfo aso na sensem na 80% de epe. Because Abrante so ni mo nso so ni no.
Wono nso Abrante si minimum no.
No
na dem call.
E no no so sampa me na de ne call.
Nim se o mama adi dwumaje
bo. Yes ye enkola okroma. Oh the concession am obi wo na ase se o so onko kata so no kreti amra. Enya wo na ese o yes adwuma. But wo de fa ne sa. Wo se onko kata so. Odipa no kokopie ho no na so kata so. Na se o tu concession wo so wa boka akwakoje a wo se metikumase meti Ashanti regime nim ho he utie concession wa koje na ban mu atu asika wo ehia obi tu wo se nyo na amani tu inaka commander Wontumi ti ho na even owo prison crash obi fa na fitire ba bi ko fa bi obete
oh yeah of course
ye nkwala okroma wo se na minim ho hwe wo nim ho hwe akosi daben. And the law is that, and again, meeting some say and convicting Wontumi on Galamsey. What? You convicting on day. You'll be a lawyer for a friend in court offense. Abetment, facilitation,
yeah, of course.
Any idea? Say, oh, boy, will be now so deep on also your bony defo. Where were you expecting? See, I'm going to say Wontumi crash shovel, sir, gravel. Asani unzo Galamsey. In the year 2006, near Womrana, neka nipe, so why a becho for Galamsey no. Only actual. In the year 2019, Enoch, Nanado Danko Kufado Bresso. Oman sesam fie ne pe, and that is the point I've always made. Enye fie dodo a obedem ne pe no sesam. B na share section 99 ha.
Omo na de buy.
Omo na de B ne buy. B no then na can B no talks about B no onipa or acting in contravention of this your friend is saying any a person who without a license granted by the minister undertakes a small scale mining operation contrary to section 1 and we are 1 no the B no eba be share say a person who also acts in contravention of the provision of this act in respect of which an offense has not been specified commits an offense and is liable for on this and then all that. Now, when you look at near omo isamra no near ekana 19 way, and now be amende wa anti be no, or say a person who acts, instigates, commands, counsels, procures, solicits, or in any manner purposely aids or facilitates. Because near be say, near share say, and I've done a lot of mining cases, and ben no kokota, and kolano near chiomo. Koli for nyoba ya ono oba se ko ba be bibi kakra nya bibi ato aduane de om ne e chop on check campaigns ne de do ba bi ne ehia campaigns no but na mra no because ye bibi a friend a vicarious liability say udi bone a untimi nka se commander na ka se mi medi ati se mra no ye specific it na den se ye be chew se na wo tu galamse na e betimi ache unua a otifi on sponsor it na omo so na ne ye pe and Addo danko akufa no yes amre 2019 and no de be share mu say obi otifie a ono na supply machines obi otifie a ono na or in fact so yes so for kra na akogina it's captured and yet President Mahama in this amra ne buy so this thing caught up with your friend is saying Wontumi because Wontumi has admitted so even at moving machines in Okran, on no procure them home. So how else would you? Because I see who act, instigates, commands, counsels, procures, solicits, or in any manner purposely aid. We didn't expect to say Wontumi Baba Bejina Kasa Miji two men am Kasa Unkutu. Nobody will do that.
Lawyer, the autocron, the also 8 me koji.
Ekoji. And 2 years Kasa on your cromfwa. It is all related. Because una ukofa machines na sa na esi uko mining site baby omo ye galamse akese nkofo ni wrafo no ofie na ukakoto no no gina pitim akesefo no wo fie and so that was the purpose for this law promulgated under His Excellency Addo Danko Akufo-Addo. So all the okay charges are the ma Wontumi na first one assignment of mineral rights without approval contrary to subsection say if I be kind count 4 now, purposely facilitating an unlicensed mining operation. He was convicted under this. Into catch him say, "Yan charging and charging and no preaching was on them."
Only license.
Not at all. And I also now facilitate because who you tombs on I didn't call. It in America, so what cobon trukananka caseminimno. Then the state will sweat. Proved seminimno. Onim boni dia yendi boni. Wakwaye ni nia ne say onyankopon yi ne ntoma afio so because why ye bone na commander enti sense am here be say and them challenge me say bibia ye attach an yokoye woni so I was shocked. A lawyer of your repute, look, when you read the law and it said your said a matter should have been referred to the Supreme Court, I was shocked because we've been trained. No, there is no automaticity, you can't say at the end of the day, so who your proceedings, Naza Assembly banners and for constitution, who automatically you should go to the Supreme Court. It is never the case. We've been taught about a case called this party Akosa. There are principles as a judge in a who say a qualifier and sana of the at the end. The judge takes a decision. Then in any case, when you read a decision, it's a referral of matters at Supreme Court now. The latest one, Jachi Kwesi, no mfuzo mu yobi. Na yom zo mu yobi. Jachi Kwesi, then a Supreme Court, a brand NDC in imped before the assembly call. Supreme Court said there is a matter to be interpreted. Supreme Court can be. The we are say, oh, we of one sir.
No, sure, sir.
No mfuzo mu yobi. Mamen kind near court ne kind echiro. Commander, in somewhere who krum ha. Na eyomo se sebe. Ye refi ana ye nhwe enema. hwɛ Judicial case no yes make the republic make kankan ɛwɔ hɔ yɛwɔ experts and neto ne adeɛ but the latest one court no aka yes party your friend is saying Judicial now onim ɛno akyi no me bi akyerɛw commander wo sa kan sɛm bi nti ɛnya no kora sɛ because court na refer asɛm na nkɔ hwɛ ne kan or say S-Party Judicial.
Use microphone.
S-Party Judicial rate number J570 2022 is the latest. And as lawyers and so say pay decision a yɛde yɛ adwuma pɛ ya na yɛ the latest one.
Okay.
Enti ebra Judicial ho ka adwa mu a yɛde no call Supreme Court. Say na Supreme Court because na ɔno so lawyers say yɛ interpret asɛm bi ɛwɔ Supreme Court. Tiene Supreme Court. The Supreme Court cautioned against the tendency of abuse of the reference jurisdiction and directed trial courts to examine the pleadings and the issues joined to satisfy themselves that a genuine and real question of interpretation exists before staying in their hand. Intinya se ba ya wo tena ofie na onim ne we kura ya west we kura de nka ho kura. Okay, Article 132 now of the Constitution now. A case say yegusu ye di asem proceedings bia yegusu di na sensem assembly pie na fa Constitution ho a yen stay near Fanko Supreme Court and lawyer bia be say no near interpret ewo ex-party akosa mekankan designator and now the Judicial no e no ma interpret no say say judge bia take decision say ehia na say ehia but even with the 132 or say within or in the course of the proceedings. The reason why I say in the course of the proceedings, say it's a rival meaning. Eba, Attorney General say mementi asiyeni. Nanka onso lawyer for, and so say mementi asiyeni. Na say judge ne nyon no na be interpret. On Fanko Supreme Court. Na Supreme Court in Chile mu famai. Throughout the trial, what they say at Article 14(1) 99 1A 2B no more kana. And no crown it is so baseless, and I'll deal with the law. Almost share that no more person it is baseless and I'll prove it to you. But even with that, assuming there was even an issue with those laws now, the question I ask and I say, during the pendency of the trial, where Attorney General swore a different opinion and I know. Where at the time when baby raise assembly when closing address, yeah, we assemble be case now case close lawyer Gane or lawyer or court. Also on your case in Ibio. Now I go for lawyer fufro. Now I back court to say or record so money break a crown fan trust submissions. Now court in it. Court to crack grantino. Also a money break. Now I got now fear. Oh thou fear now shiny I'll bet me idea delay case now. On your own. A lawyer for the can so moto. No I got tenase. Or say me who be or constitution anymore. Me person Supreme Court interpreted. When Attorney General no so tears here one ya can me. Because it didn't happen under during the proceedings. What a So you did all that. And as a court in the case, no, there is even no interpretation. But even 14.2 now, almost patch say Emrano and Kabibi and fat the punishment, which they claim say conflicted with Article 19, say and punishment, and that Article 19 they can say offense be an essay nyane punishment. It is a nyane punishment that offense Article 19. Judge natural say Niniano is captured under 99.12. Ewa hasi. Say we yes na you would be liable on summary conviction to a fine of not less than penalty units and a term of imprisonment of not less than 15 and then 25 years. But I will say affected no and non chile mo. But also affected na judge ne say that means to say it is a genuine matter of interpretation if you seek to do and I take up to the Supreme Court. I'll be to me. But that does not require an interpretation as though said there are rival meanings during the pendency of the trial, no the Supreme Court. That is not how it's done because here goes your trial now. No issue of interpretation of the Constitution and work as all the Supreme Court. So either ways you are lost. Now Mr. Tim Komobi, Commander Unibre, Emiya. Mr. Tim Komobi, Emiya, Unibre. Mr. Tim Komobi, na yemeti anam raho. Say, almost say assignment. So what is Uncle Monibia? No, Macquarie fair, and Tinam de Lance Act. Now, raho. Are these lawyers that are trained? When your constitution of Ghana, sometimes me the sana me hono. Genuinely, me the ya sana me hono. Because when your constitution, we act 1036 no, and ya mra so chan mining and mineral act. It won't mean ko hu ade wo ha. Now kasa o call interpretation wa ha. It almost see assignment there. The Lands Act has defined assignment, but granted, said no no person mo hwa. Interpretation ini. Ora kan assignment no tire obi a. What does assignment mean here?
Oh, okay. So, or say,
you almost refer no kan assignment. Kan then interpretation. Emre bia won interpretation. Almost say almost pe ahade no. Yanko kan Lands Act.
Or say, assignment means the transfer of the unexpired portion of a term or interest created by a lease.
What can be wa has say it must be written. Necessarily. Say some case what ya. Say assignment must be a written document. Because that is what has been defined in the Lands Act. What a rating you are. Transfer. It is a menu even Lands Act no menu wo ho. Na me kro matchim takras bi wasase bi. Na me do wonim say ye ho de nya paper sem. Kro mo no ye hemfa.
Asante man.
Nipa na ye paper sem. Oh, yakotena se abunu je na kokoye na koye se ye bebia ne wa transfer ama no. The law recognizes it. Eye bebia na paper. Say lease wo hiding why on lease wo ha fine. But lease wo now transfer manner. But even okay, sir, law nankasa kran minerals and mining act na. It doesn't just talk about assignment. Section 14 no. It talks about something else.
And he said, "Enipa no banasi oh mini akotu kotu."
The assignment. What transfer no?
I see.
What transfer? Because when you enter Emrano, Commander Emrano njimi you. When you enter Emrano Henesa, the reason is a simple one. Say who will be crass say be incriminating to farmer. E do he say Wontumi so will be this afo so the beba. It's Emrano Baka say who farmer re. By still because what kind 14 now it talks about say a mineral right shall not in whole or in part be transferred, assigned, mortgage and all that. And then namuka assignment, namuka transfer. Transfer is now here document. This is the height of academic whatever and me tear news file. And then near na me senior attaching here. I was shocked. Can you be the idea TG? You be the idea TJ. Commander, and you be the idea TG. Case in your eye, and you walk upon the Trokan because a Branton, why you bonny? Is it a fact to say you say Samra boy and Sassy? Yes, it's a fact. Is it as a result of Galamsey, illegal mining? Yes, it's a fact. And you've been a 2
Obi.
No question more woman say, was saying on an awful sa by being to me no. And a bind sign, and in being thinking so smart, no him so no coho no more. So what must say? A bit creative problem. You feel pen nympho for be so one akona to us on akoy. Yes, I say, and our dada will be back no the Odenakoi. It will be catch us here, my branch and free. It's not true. He took advantage of the plea bargain act, and that is why young prosecution.
Plea bargain act is so.
And then Powu Wontumi Kroya in the exim case, Oko Pebi. Plea bargain. Now I'm saying Wontumi na can send 4.
Yes.
Oh yeah, wait.
Exim. Coco Road.
And about be count. Now, Unim. Look, let me tell you. Obiani sound to me. Why? Now, no president. Wontumi or be the president.
So, Obiani did the fee.
Obiani did the fee. Obiani baby. But we are born dear. Why you born? Now, a choir wafaswa was 7 Tanodian or West. Tanodian west. Tanod no credit minimum so bet me be na no dia. Because Tanodian no na ne manager no eyi na ma no. Tanodian no say ya chill ya me no na MPP for say want to free ya mommy dey wo. Ya say magimi. Ono no waka nsem so ono de bo want to be no ni paper no kre. Na obi a be blame me.
Otisi kwaye no mu keke.
Fu no sen. No Tanodian no na eye ne then Abujinapo, Abujinapo, no, your minister now, or say whatever is happening there is illegal. Then your Samra boy, and your Tano, the end, and your crowd, when you only paper back or crowd. I don't know, dear Wusa. Dear so science in Huniso. Yes, so science in Huniso. Exim Bank, as a Makawa, have me say Exim Bank, and you can't hear down, Commander. Obi over catch your second, anything at 20 I'm playing there midday because my casa has some nice amount of because says can be a budget. What could $50 million or CD so whatever watching a business a budget. but the nunti say what day a bank can now call business ayenche. But Yanti actually say, oh, for forgery so. And the company are what no, and then and now they call business. Company no ten in there. And now what's made the company now call business. And now your school now. What do you take us for? What do you take us for? It's a yes, sir, and no. As in bank, as some no baby niano, and yes, sir. Onipano wamfa kwan paso kwati kwanti sika ne de so fa kwan paso crowd ya ban ka ebeje eno e different it nye say sika nti say na plea bargain na ontimi meka ntre say sika na opeso otua na enya no plea bargain no it has to do with the criminal ayina wo de kokoje besia na eno ho asem ne yeka commander wo de bre no nti nya botre nya commander mesrewa okay. The dishonesty a way and crop form. What they want to be the infantunche. A big casepa back here tribunal.
Yeah.
Now, I thought it be a me dream of one into myself. No, thank you. What is the issue of tribunal? Yes, we have a history as a country. Nobody takes that away from us. PNDC. In fact, I buy beer and command time you're not tribunal.
Yeah.
It wasn't used well. Yeah, me defending yeah, maybe and now I have with me. We a reporter and we need the foundation of 1992 constitution.
Yeah.
A committee on experts on proposals for a draft constitution. Nti we know the kwhia na omo dwendwen se kwan a yemfa constitution no emfa so. Na okay item 266 na omo hwe tribunal asem se den ye because abre na PNDC tribunal no wo ho. Eno ye military era. Nti ni e ba eye democratic era yi. Nti ni ehu ni ayenye tribunal nti omo ne kotena ase because abre na tribunal no omo awom hwehwe om de om adwuma commander tie ni na omo nyusu ye mra e wo Ghana ha ne de om de ye adwuma okay enti na esono court mra na esono tribunal mra enti ye ba democratic ayi mu no om se no nti omo beji to mu om se look it is therefore considered opinion by this committee that the public tribunals cannot be retained in their present form na net PNDC no when the constitution by you, the committee considered whether to integrate the public tribunals into the existing traditional court structure or to retain them, but subject to the supervisory jurisdiction of the Superior Court. After careful consideration, the committee opted for full integration as the most effective way of ensuring or assuring the above mentioned constitutional principles. Inti ombeji to mu say yam fambe yen court and kasa ye wonum enu nti so kan constitution na we no ena de ba nti yo be kan ye constitution nti so om sheda na ye om yesa o kan article 126 na e kire wo say yen court system no the judiciary consists of the superior courts of judicature comprising 1, the Supreme Court, 2, the Court of Appeal, and 3, the High Court and Regional Tribunals.
Straight up.
This is the Constitution of the Republic. I dear Juma. It is near Yabenya war ahase in as yen tribunals. It's not the same as bra PNDC name Roman war. It's been refined. It's here the best and all these superior courts in India and Chief Justice and the superior courts at regular tribunal count. It is Chief Justice never appointing two kinds. She na ya yeninia chairman no Chief Justice never appointing. Omo ebeka no Chief Justice never appointing. Enye President Mahama. Na High Court any magistrate enye Chief Justice no na appoint.
Yeah, of course.
The same way I appointed High Court judge, I president through the announcing consultation with the Judicial Council. Some point also near be appointed because it has been integrated into your court system. And you be catch us say yes tribunal wa obua wa said that of course the PNDC tribunal is not the same as the 1992 tribunal because the tribunal di wasem na se won tiasia obey appeal obey court of appeal
court
die no PNDC no na ntesa yes ye do kwa nkroma time ye do kwa because no mo hihye different obey kan item 25 of the bill e ka say ye de your friend is saying item 5 no. Item 5, 25. It talks about and Shishaya, the tribunal. Or say rules and procedure before a tribunal. the procedure before a tribunal shall be in accordance with the provisions of the Criminal and Other Offences Procedure Act 1960. 87 nyame amete hey and make kwayan hyehyɛ akasa yɛmfo obi mko gyina hɔ ne yɛnkonko buanefo. The same mmara na ɛde adwuma wɔ traditional court no. And one yɛde bɛ adwuma wɔ tribunal. Wonte ase a wobɛkɔ w'anim na wakɔ appeal. The only difference enti asa tribunal ho wei ho abehia na honorable kan no. Say, young court near two packed. Asamba pay timi several years. Eti way tribunal no eba be only criminal cases. Only criminal cases. And for your human rights court. Into a human rights case a high court. But the tribunal would deal with criminal cases. Galam say ayeka ho asem eka ho. Sanitation eka ho at least and mejitum yenya a day a sanitation day. Our court no. I'll be a why infringing on sanitation, ya then beko. Ada na musro. Na unku obi a usro se ado beko akọ gina e court.
Obi a want to ball a guru.
Ada na usro ya si ye be galamse. Bunsum se mo galamse kura de munti din da. Ada ntina tribunal be galamse a. Onye bone wo galamse ho abeko tribunal. So asem na omo kanane abre ho kura ne se omo etu bi abom hom de ye wo LGBTQ no omo asa de aba ya ne om kotena se ne ne aye ade ne bomu a no omo ba out aba be kase ye ntene so committee na ye speakers committee for constitution and legal affairs no omo ne refer adwuma ide ma om. It includes yewra asomadu no ne ade om ne MPP for nka do to MP omo let me read the conclusion any. It's important. After careful consideration, this is the committee report. The committee is of the view that the bill will provide enormous benefits for the judicial system by promoting access to justice and reducing the backlog of cases in the traditional court. The committee therefore unanimously recommends that the Honorable House adopts this report and passes the Tribunal Bill 2026. In accordance with the 1992 Constitution of the Republic. Now we have a catcher say, Yaba plenary. Na Ghana for her, no, not for a preso and a tribunal back with the report to Yan baby, Miming committee on honorable count. Monwaka report with the Abramoka. Not Mwaka, as I do with Namja.
Not
Uncle, no Mwaka, yes, I do with Nadiaba. Ain't he Omunya Chomono? And no, and every almost MPP aye ni oma good party no.
I'll come back to you. Divine. So that
all right, so abusua we ne ensema ye course so our political highway so abusua man kasa mote lawyer bidiakon fine brain HSA or dropping submissions chairman Wontumi ekwan HSA ye fa so ejeli ne 20 years ono ankasa written submission omode ba anase omode bre high court no chairman Wontumi esaranda ya ono ankasa jitu mu say case ne de ampa ade no waye into 20 years jail sentence no o deserve ye better must say some je peneko kutis in some way remaya ha gossip politics TV so